Bam! Hello. Hello, everybody. Hey. Oh, my goodness. Poison Dart, welcome in. Patio Skunk, welcome in. Yes, good afternoon, evening, morning, strange hour, whatever time it may be. Hello, 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 everybody. Ghostly, Moon Runes, all the besties hanging in. How's everybody doing? Happy Tuesday. Bum, 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 bum. Let's see. Yeah, that's true. It's just 11 at night for me. Oh yeah, you're in. It's dark for you. Yeah, Ghostly, you do need a swab emote. Swab. I've had swab on the docket for a while. So that'll definitely be first up with the new batch of emotes. So which will be coming soon. Which will be coming soon. Doing good. Just working on reading my manuscript and taking notes on the chapters. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. I know Mooners can't wait. Yeah. You just streamers. Yeah. I got a whole laundry list for Moon Runes. When that comes. So, let's see. Doing well. Just made your first post to the blacklist. Oh, Patio Skunk, you're doing the blacklist. Hopefully it goes well. Good luck. Yes. That's exciting. I've only done the blacklist a couple of times. I still find that some of the readers can be hit or miss, but most of the time, I'd say you're definitely going to get, like, in terms of what people are looking for when they're trying to buy, like, spec scripts, that's going to give you kind of a good metric. It's a good, like, window to see just kind of a broad scopes, kind of, if what you're writing is what at least currently being read is going to be on point. So it's a really good way to kind of judge. It's more to judge how sellable a thing is versus how good it is. So, but that's exciting. Very exciting. Happiness is a choice, or at least this is what I'm telling myself. Jeez, you doing okay there, Ghostly? Yeah, I figure it's best to risk it and put myself out there. Yeah, don't, like, always remember that bad readers exist too. So, like, do really, really try to get a breadth of what, if you are going to start submitting things to readers, try to get, like, a broader breadth to kind of get a metric idea, because, like, a single couple readers, even on the blacklist, aren't going to tell you, like, whether it's good or not, in terms of, like, the craft of it, essentially. The blacklist, I've seen so many scripts rate poorly on the blacklist that get sold, and I've seen the opposite. Scripts that I think are fantastic, that and I know a lot of my friends would, like, filmmakers that essentially negotiate outside of that with the screen, like directors who will negotiate to try to pick up a script because they really like the script, that don't rate well on the blacklist. I've also seen scripts that are, like, in my opinion, pretty mediocre, but they're sellable, that rate, like, crazy high. So it's kind of similar. You don't think about it the way that you would think about, like, the Nickel. The Nickel Fellowship is, like, a whole different thing. But the blacklist is a good idea to see where you are in terms of, like, being able to sell a spec. It's a good, like, just vague window. How's the fossil? How is Sensei? How's the capitalist pig overlord? I'm doing okay. I'm good. I'm very happy to be back, being able to do words and hang out with everybody. The last 2 weeks, to put it kindly, the last 2 weeks have kicked my ass. So I am very happy to be back here, back hanging with people. It has not been a pleasant time for capitalist dictator overlord. Sometimes things bite back, I guess, and I've been sitting on my high throne too long, but it's getting better. So, very excited to just kind of try to get back into the flow. Need to get back into this script, try to get these projects done. So I'm very excited. Oh my God! Also, I want to tell you something I did. I'm really happy with it. Well, tell it, Poison Dart. I want to hear it. Maybe a little happy, but it's very good in my opinion. Well, hell yeah! Speak thy victories. Also, my boy is howling, so we might be hearing him howl a lot. That has been a new thing. He's very upset. I think he misses his sister, but I also think he's hitting that, like, there's, like, a wall that older, people and pets reach, where he's hit that wall, so now he's just pissed off about everything. So we might be a little bit more howling going on. Ghostly is really trying to choose happy. It's okay, I could have lobsters for hands. That's true. Could be like lobster hands instead of Edward Scissorhands. That would be worse. I have fingers, which are useful, better for keyboards. That's good, Ghostly. These are positive things. These are good and positive things for you. There is always the words. Take solace. Taking refuge in your creative endeavors is like the best, particularly when the world just sucks or like life is kind of like punching you while you're down or kicking you while you're down. It's always nice to like you always have the words, which is nice. Oh yeah, hey buddy. I know. Hi, hello. He might come up too. This has been a new thing. He likes to get up on the desk now. I think because he's lost some weight, he's getting up on the desk. Let's see here. Gotcha. I'll take it with a grain of salt. Yeah. Typing with lobster is always rough. Yeah, I'm just imagining someone flop. Hi, buddy. Hello. Just like flop lobsters on the keyboard. Let's see here. I will yowl with you. Yeah, Aang, that is such an ever-living mood. Yes, if you all need to yowl with Aang, feel free to yowl with the boy. How many sprints? Oh, we're going to do 3. 3 sprints. 3 sprints today. While like the thought of doing words right now makes me want to be a Nazi and ready to... Oh, your just face is gonna melt. You open the Ark of the Covenant and just watch your face melt. To be clear, Ghostly is not, nor does she ever want to be a Nazi. Yes, I know what you're getting at, Ghostly. You're talking about your face melting. Hi, bud. You want to come up? Okay, come on. All right, I gotta move the keyboard though, because he will step on the keyboard. Okay, there we go. Oh, ba-doo. Let's see here. Hey, Silas, how you doing, man? How's it going out in the Scandinavian lands? Let's see. Okay, so I've been writing a lot, and I finished my first draft. And while writing my first draft, I got very attached to a character called I'm totally gonna mispronounce this. Opresoria, of course, yes. Work and lurk. Egwene? I'm probably butchering that, Poison Dart, and I'm sorry. Eugene. I almost want to say Eugene, but I'm assuming it's Egwene. And I think she might be one of my new favorite characters. I didn't think she would be, but that's what you're experiencing is one of my favorite things, where you fall in love with a character as you're creating the character. Always a fan of that. Always a big fan of that. Oh, what are you doing? What are you? Jesus Christ. Okay, bud. Okay. Missed you, Opresoria. Go kill those code gods and take their throne. Yes. That is what Opresoria is doing. Opresoria is fighting the good fight. Amazing sprint. Spring have hit here. Oh, nice. Starting to warm up. 65 degrees. So you can actually go and enjoy the weather. Go enjoy the sunshine. I'll be looking a lot more now. I know Opresoria's got a lot on their plate, so, but it's always nice when Opresoria can lurk and spy and be if anyone, I might be the dictator worm Jesus, but Opresoria is definitely Big Brother. This is the best news in the world. Are you back? What, bud? What? You just were up here. This is what you're witnessing is the cycle I've been living with. This is what the shmoo has been like. So it's gonna be up on the desk, down, up on the desk, and down. Yeah. Also, like, I knew she was gonna be cool because that's how I made her to be. My words like strongest mage, but goddamn didn't realize how cool she was gonna be. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes you write a character and you're like, this character's pretty sick. I don't know. That's a delight. I'm glad. I'm really happy, I'm happy, Poison Dart. That's great. That's great that it's always... There are characters, I always feel bad because I usually wind up killing them, but there are characters that I write like that I'm like, this character's pretty badass, and I'm enjoying this character quite a bit, and then I get sad. But, but then I'm also happy because the memories we made along the way before their untimely demise. But, was there another quote from last stream? My memory is cheese. Was there another quote? There might have been. I haven't added any. I haven't even had time to dive into anything. So if there was a quote listed, I'll have to go look up in the quotes thing and see about adding more quotes. Because Opresoria can do that. Opresoria can do that really fast. But I don't. If I did, I might not have listed it. I haven't even looked. So Silas. The only downside right now is, oh no, I'm sorry you're sick. That sucks. And my eyes get watery every 5 seconds. But oh, is it like allergies? Yeah. Spring is the worst time for me. The worst time for that reason. It's like nice to be able, it's because the weather's like, it's temperate. It's not as hot as it gets in summer, so it's a lot more comfortable for me to be outside. But then just my allergies go bananas because of that. Like I have the sensation of sneezing 24/7 without actually doing it. That's rough. Yep, just the constant itch. See, Ghostly, it's not about the Virgil you kill. It's about the memories you make. Thank you, Cryptid. Cryptid gets it. It's all about the memories you make along the way. Exactly. It's not a, it's look at the life lived, not that the life was lost. Look at the life that was, celebrate the life that was lived. No one's ever going to be able to convince Ghostly that this was not a tragedy. You know, when Ghostly was sad, when one of the best characters in fiction was brutally and ruthlessly murdered by a heartless old crone. Yep. Yep. That's rough. That's rough, Ghostly. But every time I hear you talk about the best character in fiction being brutally murdered ruthlessly by a heartless old crone, that old crone sounds pretty badass. Jesus. Very funny. Plus, I can't wait to get my next book. Nice. Okay, and I have to write her romance. Okay, very cool, because I want to see her marry Aldrich and become a queen. This all sounds great, Poison Dart. This sounds like a badass. Knave is a compliment to me. That's it. The heartless old crone is you, in case you didn't catch the subtext. Oh, is that me? I don't know. I'll be a heartless old crone too. I don't mind. Hark, what a pretentious thing on yonder hill. 'Tis a ghost. Ah. Oh, look, Tort's coming online. Good boy, Tort. Tort's there. I don't think Tort. Yeah, I think Tort might have just come online, because I didn't see the Moon Runes announcement either, so I think it's probably booting up. Do. Oh man, it feels very weird. Remember when I said I was gonna try to have this script done by the beginning of April, and I like haven't touched it in 2 weeks because I've been bouncing around between here and San Diego. Anyway, hey, it lives. There we go. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. There we go. We got the most pretentious one on there. There we go. It's true. Also, just like when she becomes a queen and gets gifted 2 dragon eggs, and I can't wait till the day she starts throwing magic and dragons at people. I mean, yeah, that sounds incredible. It's epic. Epic is the way I would describe that. Why light? I don't. What did I do? I probably said something. I don't know. I have the magic touch. Well done. Well done. Well done. Yeah, I was like that's an older quote, but that's a pretty good one too. There was a period of time where every time you'd see people interview, like directors or writers be interviewed, they would talk about pathos all the time. It was just like pathos. And so when I think of the word pathos, even though it's a perfectly acceptable word to use, it just reeks of just like these characters have pathos. They are deep. They stare into your soul, and there you see the human condition. You know, it reeks of that kind of stuff, which isn't necessarily pretentious, but sounds pretentious. Where is the wizard robe? Where is my wizard robe? I don't know. I think it might be. I might have to go dig it out. I had to go do a bunch of laundry the other day, so things have been moved. Things have been moved around, but it's in there somewhere. You've been working your tail off. The script will get done. Oh, yes. But in the meantime, yeah, I'm working on it. It's just now I have to remind myself. I have to like sit here and remind myself what I was even doing in the script. That's why I hate when I start a script and then get interrupted in the middle of writing it, and for weeks and then come back. It just messes up the whole flow. Or I will get the squirt bottle I use on the cats. Yeah, yeah. Pathos sounds like a character from an Elder Scrolls bootleg. Pathos, yeah. I mean, it's got that like Greek vibe, I want to be one of those writers with a secluded shack in the woods. I mean, that's fine. I mean, I think we all have a little bit of the fantasy of being like, kind of like a isolated, weird, living in a cabin or something. It's the whole Henry David Thoreau Walden thing. Not like Walden, but the idea of going to a cabin or being like in a secluded area. I remember the surrealist filmmaker Alejandro Jodorowsky. He was just like writing comic books, and after his like fall from grace from filmmaking, and he was just living in like France in some person's backyard and like a bungalow. It's just like you just wander in and find him. So there is a possibility. I've wondered whether if I wanted to become one of those boat people, one of those people that just lives like a single weird person living on a houseboat, usually with like a dog, because that's a whole culture and it's a whole vibe, man. Houseboat or people that live on boats, whole vibe. I knew some of those guys like didn't have a home. They just kind of lived out in the marina. I used to hang out with some of those guys in Mexico. It's interesting. It's a vibe. It's definitely a vibe. So I've definitely been like I could maybe I could pull that off. I could just be that weirdo. Some guy just living off the coast somewhere. It's not necessarily an ideal life, but it's a life, that's for sure. Honestly, didn't think I was gonna love Gwent as much as I do because I always viewed her as kind of a means to an end. But that just means you're getting better at writing more compelling characters, even when you think you're just using them as an end. So that's good. That's a sign of like progress in your craft. Poison Dart. On that note, I will probably not get much writing done today. My brain is doing a really good job of beating me with a sledgehammer. I'm sorry, Cryptid. But I've done 2. You've done 2 chapters. You're fine. Yeah, take it. Be kind to yourself. Definitely. Don't push yourself too hard, particularly if you're really not feeling it. Do you pronounce it Egwene, like the hottest Arthurian? Okay, why do you say that that's the hot... Who played... You know who played Gwaine in Excalibur? Was, I'm pretty sure Liam Neeson. Like, a very young Liam Neeson played Gwaine in Excalibur. Which is like my only reference, because it's, in my opinion, the only Arthurian legend thing that is like that holds up the test of time. Although I do like the old '90s made-for-TV miniseries, the Merlin miniseries, but the effects have not aged well on that, and there are definitely some things of that have really not aged well. But it is pretty. There's some good stuff about that old show. But I'm wondering who plays Gwaine in whatever this adaptation Ghostly's talking about. I'm very curious. But imagine that, Liam Neeson, of Qui-Gon Jinn fame, playing a very, very, very young him playing Gwaine the Knight. A boat would be nice. Did you ever read Another Bullshit Night in Suck City? Was a houseboat theme there? I have not read that, The Patio Skunk, but I love that title. Another Bullshit Night in Suck City. That's an incredible title. Holy shit. And based on the title alone, I would read that. Houseboat was my original plan. Oh, nice. It's so good. It's the best plan, and there's no property taxes because water isn't a property, baby. Yep, that's true. It's a great book, creative nonfiction. Okay, I'm gonna check that out. Creative, I like the genre creative. If I ever did actually write like a bio, one of those everyone talks about, everyone jokes about me writing memoirs. If I ever did write a memoirs, I would want it to be in the creative nonfiction, which essentially is it's all half truths and that I've just constructed in a very particular way that's far more entertaining than just a beat by beat of your life. I mean, yeah. Okay, very great. I only care about the BBC TV series, and he is a very attractive Irishman. Gotcha. I mean, Gwaine is supposed to be one of the purest and most popular of the knights, so that makes sense. Is this casting for the Merlin the show or the Green Knight recent? Oh, no. That's Dev Patel. I mean, Dev Patel is a gorgeous, gorgeous man. Like, Dev Patel, and also, Green Knight is an interesting film. It was a movie I did not like initially, and I thought I would like it. I did not like initially, but it's kind of grown on me, even though I still have issues with it. but it's an interesting film. Definitely doing the Last Temptation of Christ vibes with the Arthurian legend, but there's still a little bit in there that I was like, this is good. I don't know, buddy. But there's some good stuff. And Dev Patel is fantastic in that movie. Let's see. Great. Ian Mackin. Just a fine man, my type of man right there. Love me some Gwaine. Watch that whole show solely for him. That's funny. The show defined me for about a year of my life. I've heard about the BBC Musketeers. That is, although I really have a soft spot. I'm not a Disney person, but I do have a soft spot for that Disney Three Musketeers. I really do. It's not even the best adaptation of the Three Musketeers, but it's so good. It's like really good. I don't know. I just kind of love it. Definitely had a phase in my youth where I was running around. I got into rapier fighting fencing. I got into fencing because of that movie. Because I wanted to run around with the skinny fencing swords because of that movie. So yeah. Anyway. So nerdy. Which Disney version? This would be the 90s Disney version, Ghostly. Yeah, there you go, Cryptid. It's vibe accurate to the source material. Dumas would have approved. I like to think so. Didn't we all? Pretty sure that's every Elder Millennial pipeline for sure. It's definitely in that wheelhouse. For sure. I love to see how she goes from homeless child with like nothing to most powerful mage and queen of a nation. Yeah, Poison. I mean, those are like the rags to riches stories. We always love that genre, but to like suddenly become the most powerful of the powerful people. I mean, that's, it's like the invert. You've done Arthur, but instead of it being like the predestined king, you just have this person who ends up being able to grow into that. Because Ghostly might be aging herself again. Was there another Three Musketeers? Yeah, the 93 live action. That would have been the one I saw in theaters. Was there another one? Oh yeah, we did not have the same Disney Three Musketeers. Yeah, I mean, our oh god, why do I always forget that actor's name from Muppet Treasure Island and Rocky Horror Picture Show? How do I always forget his name? He's incredible. The Darkness from Legend. Tim Curry. There we go. Thank you. Yeah, Tim Curry. Yes. Yeah, it's got Tim Curry in it, man. Like, it's so good. It's so good. There was a period there, like, there's a subsection of young millennials who grew up on Tim Curry movies. Tim Curry specifically being in either video games or in kids movies, and then every single one of those kids eventually being like, what is this thing that people go to every Saturday night at this weird old movie theater? And then they all just saw very young Tim Curry in Rocky Horror Picture Show, and that is a road that sets those young millennials on for the rest of their lives. which is musical theater, hyper queer, S&M, bonkers culture. It's the whole thing. But yes, Tim Curry. There was one with Mickey Mouse? Okay, I am not familiar with that one. Cryptid, that's how you become queer. Yep, thank you. You get it. Yeah, that's yeah. There's the whole culture built around it. Oh, yes. I mean, to be fair, Ingwayne's husband is kind of like it's kind of like Arthur in a way that he's chosen. He was a chosen king, not one of royal blood. Aldrich is cool though. He's known as the hero king, which is also why he doesn't care about the fact that she's not a royal, because I do like that. Instead of having Arthur actually be, it would be more interesting instead of having Arthur be the son of like Pendragon, of Uther Pendragon, actually just having it be a kid that's like removed from, essentially removing the sort of bloodlining of royalty. Or I guess of like divine royalty. All right. Oh, we've got ads. Okay, we got ads, and then we're gonna start our first sprint after ads. Wait, where's Oh, Patio Skunk Dark City. Oh, hell yes. Oh, yes. I was surprised when I looked up the guy who played Mr. Hand and found he wrote Rocky Horror. Yes, yeah, he did. That is that, which is wild, right? Like just some of these weird little things where you're like, oh, these guys like have been around and we're doing like bit part acting. That's gone back all the way. Like my buddy who's a showrunner now, he was an actor for a long time. I mean, he was on Grey's Anatomy. He was been like that like crossing of like, but he wasn't like a big enough actor that people would really be able to point him out popular in like popular fiction. But it turns out he wrote stuff. It's just weird. It's the crossover is strange. Hey, Nell brought in, of course, bringing in chaos. All right, so we'll extend the break on the back end after the first sprint. And we're coming in with Redeem Hydrate, so be sure to hydrate everybody before we get started. And stand up and move. All right. It's from 04. Okay, so yes, Ghostly has aged yourself as a fetus. Yeah, you are definitely young. At some point, Ghostly, if you ever get a chance to watch the old 90s Three Musketeers, I highly recommend it. It's good stuff. Anyway, how are you, Nell? Welcome in. Welcome in, Nell. Yeah, it was like, you got your marching orders, Wiley. Good luck. I know, yeah, right? I got that. We'll redeem the break after the first sprint. I want to make sure that we get a sprint in before we start extending them. What else? Oh, yeah, Dark City. There was a period because Dark City was directed by Poyas, who directed The Crow, so it has the same sort of like aesthetic production design. But those two movies back to back were like peak everything for me. I definitely was like because I was so into The Crow. Like Dark City was an easy follow up for me, and then I got really into like the sci-fi angle of it. So it's like, because it's much more, it's much weirder. I also just like that it's weirder. It felt more like reading like a William Gibson novel almost. So, but with like noir elements, with like more noir elements than like Neuromancer would have had. Oh no, I had a big meeting yesterday with a local politician. Oh shit, and got so worn out from it I overslept and missed the one earlier today. Oh my god, Nell, you're a high roller. You're meeting with politicians? Hell yes. That's cool. That's really rad, Nell. The Crow, you say. It's not like, if you liked the way The Crow looked and sounded, like that kind of artistic production design and aesthetic, Dark City is very similar. It was definitely like, but Dark City is also a very different movie. Dark City's a like based on like 1940s noir like beat detective, but with like really weird science fiction elements, and it's a very dark film. Like it can get a little weird, but I'd recommend it. I don't think, I'd have to remember. I don't know if there's anything in there that would be like really triggering for Ghostly. I'm trying to remember if there's any like, I don't know. I'll get back to you, Ghostly. But stylistically, if you liked the look of The Crow and kind of like that almost miniature-esque gothic look, it's very similar to that. I just realized I'm wearing my Shell Beach t-shirt now too. Love Dark City. Anything unique like that, yeah, it's badass. Hey, the kids are asleep. Welcome in. Dark City is intense. It's an intense science fiction movie. There's horror. There's definitely horror elements for sure. I'm just trying to remember if there's anything like hypersexual or anything like any sexual violence or anything like that. I try to remember any of that kind of stuff before I start recommending movies to people. I'm trying to remember. It's definitely like horror vibes. There's definitely like some monster stuff in there, but I don't think there's anything like that. But I can't remember. I have to go look. If Ghostly is properly trying to do Crime Clowns again, she might give it a watch. It would match the Crime Clowns. Actually, when I was thinking about the way that world looked, it kind of was a little bit like Dark City, a little bit. I'm gonna have to deal with the world's scariest badge battle mage if they ever get. Yes, you are. Absolutely. Yeah, I don't remember. I don't really think it has anything to do with. Yeah, I don't think there's any of that in there. So I think in that sense it might be safe. Safe for you, Ghostly. There is like intense psychedelic mind. It definitely messes with your head, but the kids is like what Blade. Yes, and City of the Lost Children made a baby. Yeah. Oh, that's a god. Oh, chef's kiss. I know a lot of people like Delicatessen more, but I have such a soft spot for City of Lost Children. And also just like really weird Ron Perlman role, because Ron Perlman was in so many of those like weird French films back in. But I love City of Lost Children. Just it's almost like a weird dark fable. But I don't know. I just liked it more than I like Delicatessen. All right, we have babbled enough. We should dive into our first sprint, and then Nell, we will extend our break. We'll extend our break on the first break. So the first break we'll do 15 minutes instead of 10 minutes. But I want to make sure that folks can get some work in and start diving. But Nell did redeem stand up, walk around, and stretch and hydrate. So before we start, make sure you got your drinks and let us do it. Me realizing how niche that comparison, yeah, that is a niche comparison, but you're 100% spot on. What was the Ron Perlman film? City of Lost Children. So if you look up Ron Perlman was in a lot of like Spanish and French European films way back, because Ron Perlman could speak. He's actually multilingual. I think he could speak like 5 languages. But he was in like Kronos, which is Guillermo del Toro's movie in Mexico. He was in City of Lost Children. He was in a bunch of that stuff. Back in the 90s. But that's also this crowd. Yeah, this is the crowd for it. All right. We're going to dive in. You're going to be listening to my spooky movie playlist. So if that... the dark fantasy one? The City of Lost Children is the dark fantasy one for Ron Perlman. City of Lost Children... Dark City is the kind of sci-fi movie, but Ron Perlman's in City of Lost Children, which is a French film. Currently, that's your vibe. I think you'd enjoy it. All right. We're going to switch over. All right, everybody. Happy writing. I'm going to dive off the mic, and we will catch you all back here in 40 minutes. And away we go. Exactly, Periscope. Definitely worth checking out. Alrighty, and we are back from our sprint. Let me bring the music down. If I can figure out how to do this again. There we go. Boop, boop, ba-doo, ba-doo. Will it let me change the... Oh, it will. There we... Oh, shit. Sometimes it doesn't let me do that. Alright, we are... Nope. Nope, right here. Alright, 15 minutes since we got a extend break redeemed by Nell. Alright, well, hopefully that was a good sprint for everybody. Let me just do that. There we go. How's it going? Oh, he's gone wild. What is my baby boy doing? You don't need to know everything Virgil's up to. Virgil's got a life. Virgil's doing things. Virgil's busy. Virgil's got busy taking care of stuff. Anyway. That is an Aang. Yeah, he might have. Oh, he just got down from the little thing. I beg your pardon. I am his wife. Patio Skunk. That was productive. I didn't write per se, but installed Faden. Hey, that works. Imported my Celtic script. Hell yeah. And cleaned up the formatting for the import. Celtics is too ancient now. Yeah. Faden's a really good option too. It's nowhere near as oppressively expensive as Final Draft, and I used to do most of my writing in Faden. I still go into Faden from time to time. I really like that program, so but that is smart. Flopped on the chair under the horse picture. Did he? Oh, was he up on the? He was up on the seat back there, under the horse picture. That's actually that's a painted cell from Vampire Hunter D, Bloodlust, which is a favorite movie of mine. That's great. Read some slush. Sent some rejections. Hell yeah, kids are asleep. That sounds extremely productive. Ghostly, don't forget you need to discuss that book. Oh yes, that's right. Oh yeah, horror book or horror movie. That's right. Yes, we'll get back to this. Mark my words. Anyway, what, bud? Hi, hello, hi. I have a book. I have a book for the top of my to be read. That is a giant stack, Ghostly. But what is the book? What is the book? Do you use Final Draft to be more compatible with the industry? I use Final Draft. I almost exclusively. I don't even write in Final Draft anymore. I just use it for out because it's all for like production metrics. It's essentially so the script can be integrated into post-production and pre-production software more like easily, and it's easier to tag things in it for production. But for like script publishing, it doesn't matter. It's it's the same as any other. And honestly, it's because it's just such an archaic program. It's actually slower and more burdensome than like Faden or even like Writer Duet or something like that. It's just one of the things that is good is like on-site writing to be integrated into production software. So if say you're a showrunner and you're doing like on live edits on set, that can then be incorporated into a Scripties tablet to be able to do like that's where Final Draft still to this day is you want to be using it. But if you write and fade in, it's the script before it goes into that software, it's going to be exported out into Final Draft anyway, before it goes into any of those programs. So it's not, if you're just writing, it's not really necessary. I don't think it's necessary to use Final Draft at all unless you want to. Yeah, it's just for software, production software. And I need that because if I'm making my own stuff, I usually am the one having to do all that stuff. Or it's just easier for me to be able to go in and manually adjust things if I need to, because we're working on indie schedules. So if my line producer is dealing with stuff and I need to go in and fix something, I can just go in and fix it. I don't need to be like, do this, So I have access to all that stuff. Aang baby sweet cutie pie. I know, he's a sweet boy. He's a sweet boy. He's a sweet boy. But I can tell Princess has hit him a little hard though. So he's very clingy now. Um, Gotcha, because yeah, Fade In is a lot cheaper, and Fade In's generally, in my opinion, from like a writing perspective, just being a program that you could write in, I think Fade In's a better software. I mean, like major screenwriters write in Fade In, like professional screenwriters all write in Fade In, like as much, like maybe not as many as Final Draft, but it's not like a restrictive thing. Like only professional screenwriters like write in that stuff. Um, it's generally like what's his name, Rian Johnson, who did like Glass Out and Onion. He writes in Fade In. Bunch of those guys write in Fade In. It was written for you, Wiley. I know. Yeah, Paul Tremblay. Yeah. Was thinking of you, the capitalist pig worm Jesus sensei, as he wrote it. He had a whole vision. Every time he sat at the keyboard, he would go to an trance state where his conscience left his body and he was possessed by some supernatural to write this for you. I'm like, I got the audiobook from the library and I was listening to it. And I can definitely see why you've been talking it up, Ghostly, because I do like the fragmented where it goes into the screenplay and all of that. And like the kind of the director and the what is it, the director and the other writer on it. The characterization's interesting. I need to go back and read because I think I put it on and then I fell asleep. So I heard the ending, but I definitely missed some chunks between like the last quarter and the ending. Um, the ending, at least from what I can tell from the ending, I'm pretty sure. I'm just gonna say, Ghostly, that I think how it ends is how I expected it. I think I expected it, that it was a, yeah. I don't want to ruin the book for anybody who hasn't read it or spoil it, but I had a feeling that's where it was going. Um, and it was generally like unreliable narrator stuff. Um, or reliable narrator that is just Lovecraftianified into what it means to be a reliable narrator. Very reminded me a lot of you know what it reminded me of? Is it reminded me of like a call of, like if you made a Call of Cthulhu game out of making a movie, which in itself is kind of brilliant. Um, Ghostly was thrown. Yeah, I've liked it. It's good. So like I need to fit. There's some gaps I need to fill in, which is my fault because I fell asleep during it. Um, I don't know what the ending was, and I read the whole thing. Also, you just heard the end. That's no. I've gone through. It was just the last 25% of the book, and then I woke up right at the ending during the reveal. So that's the problem. So I generally know how it ends, but I think the gap to how it gets there. Well, because I wanted to go back and do the gap, and read the gap. So, um, that's my fault. That's what I get sometimes for. Sometimes when I listen to audiobooks and it's a hot day, I get a little nappy. It makes me fall asleep. Unless I'm like on a road trip and I'm driving. So I probably should have just read it, but um, you didn't tell. Yeah, but yes, I was gonna tell you. I was going to discuss it with you when I finished listening to that section at the end I missed. Um, Ghostly was thrown for a loop. I mean, it's very cool. I it's very like I like a lot of it. It definitely captures a really good. It makes me wonder if Paul Tremblay's actually been around like people doing indie film or something, because it does capture that kind of chaotic vibe really well. Um, it and kind of the strange, kind of the constant pushing and pulling. Oh, he has. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because he definitely captures that world really well. I feel like I have to be doing something while listening to an audiobook or I fall asleep. Yeah, Moon Runes. I can last pretty long. I used to do audiobooks to try to go to sleep too, because I just needed help sleeping, and I was hoping that's what would happen, but sometimes it doesn't help. So there's a few horror filmmakers in that circle. Gotcha. Everything I've horror movie is the first Paul Tremblay thing I've read / listened to, but I've been recommended Paul Tremblay very often. Um, so I'm very curious about, yeah. I thought it seemed accurate from my no experience. It feels accurate. Yeah, it felt accurate for sure. Um, but I want to read some of his other stuff. Um, there's not a lot of modern horror writers I read right now. I'm trying to read more of them because there's a part of me that is considering adapting some of my screenplays into like short horror novels, um, just to do something with them in case like numbers came out about the first quarter of 2025 and it looks like film production in LA went down another 25%, which is accurate to my experience. But it does seem like it is slowly starving us all out. So I'm trying to see if I can take some of these screenplay ideas and maybe transition them to some horror. So I'm trying to add a couple more like modern horror novels to my docket so I can read them. Um, no, 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 no. It's good. You have to remember, Ghostly. I have a hard time with horror novels. I don't read a lot. Like horror novels are a thing I struggle with. Um, it's actually why I'm trying to maybe try to write one or like adapt some of my screenplays into one to just see what that would be like. Um, I really want to read. I really want to read Stephen Graham Jones, and Ghosty has convinced me to move his work up. Okay, Stephen Graham Jones, I love. I read. I haven't read a ton of Stephen Graham Jones, but he has, and I love that he can write a pocketbook, which is like my dream. That's like if I can write a book that you can fit in your pocket, that's like the old, like back to the old trade working man reading a book days, like something very very old pulp novel type stuff. Like Night of the Mannequin was the first, which was the first Stephen Graham Jones book I read, and that was incredible. That is like one of the best modern unreliable narrator books ever. I love it. So no need to question your taste. Some people just like different things. But no, I don't think it's. I don't think. Oh wow! Sorry. I'm bouncing around chat here. Question my taste. Does the book seem good? Horror from the audiobook, it seemed good. I liked it a lot. There was genuinely some creepy stuff in there. It felt very SCP slash like Skinamarink. It felt like it was channeling kind of that very liminal weirdness, which I liked. That was probably my favorite part of it, is that it's just got that brooding. It's got that brooding sort of strange style horror that then like erupts into something more visceral. But the problem that I have with writing horror is, for me, horror filmmaking is so is for me it's a film. It's either I have an easier time with horror in either in an audio video format, either in film, television, or like video games. Which is funny because I come from, I grew up reading like Lovecraft and stuff. But so much of Lovecraft was like, it's indescribable. I'm so terrified of this thing I cannot put it into words. And it's more like the conceptualness of it that is creepy and kind of fun to think about. And Lovecraft doesn't really like scare me. There's certain things about it that are unsettling, but he's not like aside from a few very specific short stories, he's just more intellectually interesting to me, like in terms of like the cosmic horror, the existential stuff. That's what's interesting about those stories. But for me, like Alien or the film Cure, these things just don't exist in like literature. It's like for me, my point of approach is always going to be like utilizing the language of editing, of music, to build suspense, and like framing and compositing in terms of imagery, and utilizing like certain like techniques. That's just where tension and terror in my mind come from, or like explorations of like the liminal comes from, like it's just visual for me. So not to say that it's impossible, because I've read horror books that actually genuinely unsettle me. The first couple chapters of Echo are deeply freak me out. And so does and then Graham. Night of the Mannequins. Night of the Mannequins is a really good example, particularly is because I used to work at a movie theater. That like there's some shit in that book that really messed me up. Um, so like I'm not saying it's impossible. It's just very hard for me to, which is why I think horror movie is better for me to listen to because the performance of the different actors reading the book. I think I would probably have a better time listening. I have a better time listening to it than I probably would have had if I had read it. But that's just me guessing. But don't question your taste, please, Ghostly. Do not question your taste. Why, like the Buffalo Hunter sounds like your bag. Is that him? I'll look that up. Sorry, I just babbled forever. Um, I'm almost done with I Was a Teenage Slasher by him, and I am absolutely adoring. Yeah, I also just love the language. That guy can write. I mean, it's just he's an amazing writer. Um, just his use of language. Let's see, the Buffalo Hunter. The Buffalo. I mean, the name of it sounds like it's my jam. Okay, yeah, that's Stephen Graham Jones. Yeah. Okay. Yep. I will read that. I will read that next. Yeah. What do I do have the next one of his. I have it over here somewhere. Is My Heart Is a Chainsaw. So that's the next one I'm going to read by him. Um. But let me finish like going back and finishing horror movie before I give you like my judgment, because I don't want you to think that I hate it or something like that, or I'm not impressed with it or feel like it's my jam. I just need to go back and finish it. From the little I've seen, Stephen Jones has a wonderful voice. I adore. I use language. Yeah, I love it. I love it. I feel like it's rare to find a well-made horror movie these days. I did like Hereditary. See, that's funny. So oh man, we got to start a sprint. But I will. Okay. I curb your judgment. Yeah, and also remember, Ghostly, I can be wrong. Like in terms of my you, there are things that you can think are great and that I don't think are great. Just be like, you're wrong, old Crypt Keeper. Yeah. I am not a metric. Do not use me as a metric. You wrong? I'm wrong lots. I have lots of times. Let's see here. Okay, yeah, before we dive in. Yeah, so well-made horror is difficult. There is good horror being made today, but it's not like broadly what people are like lauding usually. Talking about gothic, depending what you mean by horror. Gothic horror, I think Robert Eggers' Nosferatu is incredible. And it's horror. It's straight up horror. It's a vampire story and it goes hard on the vampire monster angle. I mean, The Witch was great. Hereditary. My problem with Hereditary, and this is my problem with Ari Aster, is I watched a lot of Ari Aster's short films when he was coming up, and he's more like the Coen brothers than he's like a horror filmmaker to me. I feel like he just started doing horror because that was like the inroad. So I found most of Hereditary like inappropriately really funny, even though I think it's well shot and it's well engineered. But I just like, I'm not gonna lie, when the head scene happens, I like was laughing when like she's crawling around on the ceiling. It made me laugh. Like it like really just didn't work on me. I don't know what it just was goofy to me. It was goofy with like, but shot like a serious horror movie, and it probably doesn't help that so much of it felt like Rosemary's Baby, which is like a generally viscerally disturbing horror film that from the 70s that I think is like one of the best horror movies ever made. So like it's hard for me to that's my only problem with Hereditary. And Midsummer, but it's funny now that he's moved into more of the stuff I expect from him. I like Boo is Afraid, and I'm actually excited for his new movie Eddington. So I've come around a little bit on Ari Aster, but there's good. I mean, there's if you want a fantastic horror movie that came out last year, Red Rooms, viscerally disturbing, one of the most unsettling films I have seen in like years. But I highly if you are like, they don't make good horror movies anymore, watch Red Rooms. That movie is messed up, and it's messed up about like, and like modern messed up. It doesn't rely on like the conceits of 70s horror. It's very much a movie about modern society, and it's super unsettling. So there are good horror movies out there. I will defend that they do exist. and they are being made. They're just not popular. Um, Unheard of. Sensei knows best, as Confucius once said. Sensei knows as Confucius. The fact that Confucius would quote me is hilarious. All right, let's dive into our sprints. I did like The Witch. Yeah, The Witch is great. Yeah, it's a French movie. It's French. Highly recommend it. If anybody's looking for horror movies, it was in my top movies from last year. And also The Substance. Actually, I don't even know why that skipped my head. Substance is like maybe not like a hard horror movie, but it's body horror for sure. And Substance is a fantastic film. So I'd recommend that. Also, ironically, is also French, but in English. But anyway, all right. Diving into our sprints, I'll stop yapping. Good luck. Happy writing, everybody. We'll see you on the other side. And away we go. All right, that is the end of our sprint. Let me just bring the music down. Oh, let's change this back to 10. Hopefully, some words were done. I guess a grocery spreadsheet. Kids are asleep. Got that done. I was gonna be like that. Oh crap. Ow. All right. Well, time on the phone. I pressed too many buttons. Hold on one sec. Okay, there we go. Okay, all right, I got it. All right. Let's see. I'm comparing prices at multiple stores in advance of a Costco trip. That's smart. That's a really good idea. The kids are asleep. I haven't found Costco to be more expensive usually than other stores, but it does happen. Yeah, that's brilliant. The kids are asleep. It's funny when you did that meme thing. Like I didn't register, I guess, what you were doing, but yeah, I've heard that whole like, it's essentially you could be describing the straightest thing in the world and being like, no man, that's gay. It's just insane. You want to know what's super straight is just like oiling yourself up, and wrestling, and excluding women from everything. So it's you and the boys all the time, wrestling naked. You know, like Spartans did. So. Anyway. None of us got spreadsheetism, I don't think, or we're just outweighed by the ADHD. I'm not good at spreadsheets, but when they're done, and it like, I don't know, it like calms, it makes me feel like I'm not forgetting anything, because I'm really bad at forgetting stuff at the grocery store. Patio Skunk, yes, but I hope everybody had a good writing thing. Ghostly Trojan Horses? Fossil, are you streaming next week? Yeah, I'm streaming next week. Full Spartan is right, though. Some people are so weirdly devoted to gender coding. So yeah, well, that's the thing, is they gender code it so much that like everything is gay, including like the straightest thing you could possibly. I don't know. At that point, you know, this brings in my weird anarchist thing where I'm like, there's no straight or gay, man. It's just do what you do and like what you like. We don't gotta code it. You don't gotta code it, man. You just have a good time. Anyway. Twilight, do we need add another quote? I like that. Yeah. Just the Spartan thing. just, you know what the straightest thing in the world to do is? It's just go only hang out with men naked. It's very funny that they idealized the Greeks, or not specifically the Spartans, of all the Greek city-states, the ones that tend to like wind up in those incel. I'm just like, you realize that those were like, those were the gayest of the Greeks. Like, it's just wild to me. But they don't care. It doesn't matter. There's no reference to anything in history. It's all utilized as a different signifier, completely devoid of any actual reference to anything real. I go deep focus on spreadsheets and my ADHD gets activated and I just lose time. That makes sense. I feel like I do that when I clean or I organize, where I just hyper organize things and then, 8 hours have passed. Costco rotisserie chicken is the best. Oh man, I used to get one of those and just make like tacos and burritos for a week. Dr. Lexus has entered the chat. Patio Skunk. Excellent. I need to throw the folk horror at you. I am excited to read it, Ghostly. Absolutely. Please throw it my way. Yeah, if you want to read it, we can do some read-throughs next week. I feel you. That's me when I'm working on site stuff. I don't think I ate for 6 hours yesterday. Yeah, that makes sense. Checks out. I don't even want to talk about the last iteration of that meme that I saw in the wild. I'm sure it was awful. I'm sure in most cases, it's absolutely awful. That and one of the Zizona mozzarella balls. Oh my god, that would fix me. That sounds so good. There's no way to discuss it in euphemistic language. Yeah, that makes sense. I wonder how long it would take me to eat a Zizona. I don't even know what that is. Involves sex with women, making you gay, and I just disassociate for like 10 minutes. Yeah, that makes sense. I've heard that. I've heard people literally describing like heterosexual sex as being gay, and it's very funny to me. Yeah, at this point, you're just not even living in any sort of. It's just internet culture slowly brain rotting people into oblivion. No, that's fine. If that's the logic keeps them away from women, I consider that a success. Exactly, Cryptid. Ooh. Is this the Zizona? I want to see the Zizona. Oh my! Oh, you've shown me this. Yes, you've shown me this. Yeah, the Zizona. You have showed me this, Nell. Oh my God. Yes, you have. You did. I believe you. It was you who showed me the giant cheese boob. That. Oh my God, that sounds so good though. Like it's so much cheese. Oh. The Booker chapter has been scrapped. I remember you mentioning that you had rebuilt the Booker chapter, so that would be a reread of that chapter, along with another glimpse back into Jessup. If only and yet. If only and yet. Exactly. That's the problem. That's the denial it comes in. 2 kilograms of fresh mozzarella. It's so much. It's so much cheese. Ugh. But that's so good. Why do things pop? Why does my ad break? Okay, we got ad break rolling, and then where are we at timer wise? All right, we got 4 minutes left. We're good. Do I need more water? I might. All right, I'm gonna go get water. I'm gonna go get water and top off my tea, and then we will dive in. It'll be the third and final sprint of the night. So feel free to stretch the legs, go get tea, and we'll see y'all back here shortly. Okay, all right, back. Okay. Ghostly, why is that cheese shaped like that? It's probably the container that they put it in. Ghostly, that's probably just how the container sits, and then the cheese like pours in and then ferments. It's just very funny that Ghostly's just like, why does it have to look like that? It's uncomfortable. It's very funny. The T to the top is where, yeah, that's where it's tied off. Yeah, that makes sense. Yep. Yeah, it's just the shape it ends up in the process. Fresh milk is always round. Yep. The cheese makes me irrationally uncomfortable. It's so funny. I don't like when food isn't food shaped. It's that's usually, that's what that stuff looks like. Like before it's like curated at a grocery store. Like, it's like when you have where they ferment the cheese in the wax. Usually in like giant roll circles and stuff. It's very funny. Oh, hi, sweet boy. What's up? Oh, hello. Oh, we're coming back. Someone tell Ghostly about the cheese from St. Louis that looks like noodles. Yeah. But yeah, I forgot that Wiley doesn't have long hair and got surprised by short hair. He does, however, have more hair than me at the moment. Oh, gee. Oh yeah. I got my hair cut. That's why. That hair, it got a lot longer than it was supposed to get. What? You want to come up? You want to come up? Okay. All right. Oh. Hi. Yes. Hello. Um. Let's see. Someone tell Ghostly about the cheese. Oh yeah, it's filled to the brim with baby mozzarella and cream of the. Oh my god, that's so with mozzarella balls inside. Amazing, amazing. New mozzarella. Oh, this was new mozzarella dropped. Okay, I got it. Oh, there's new. Okay, that is the end of our break. All right. Oh, that looks. Oh, that looks good. That's like something I would have when I was in like Spain. Oh, so good. Are you just? What are you doing? What are you doing, bro? What, buddy? What's going on? What? I want my cheese to be wedges. Goes like things. Food doesn't usually look like it does when it's at the supermarket. It doesn't like. That's, it gets cut and it gets cut and split up to look like that when you buy it in slices, but usually it doesn't look like that. Meat is the same thing. It's like don't I mean sausages. Look at you want to talk about a wild way that stuff looks before it gets tied off. Oh hi sweet boy. It looks good, Violet, and you have assistant. I do have an assistant. He's gonna be up here probably for the beginning of sprint. I can tell when he's in the mood to be up here. Now I want mozzarella sticks. I'm gonna be using a lot of cheese tonight when I make dinner. I wish my brother Aang so very much. I wish to brother Aang so very much. Yes, he's inspecting your setup. Gotta make sure it's working right. Food needs to be food shaped, Twilight. It's what is food? All food. That's food is food shaped. What you're looking at is how it's shaped. That is actually how it's shaped. It's shaped differently when it goes to the grocery store. Peaches come from a can. That's where they were put. They were put there by a man in a factory downtown. Exactly. Yeah. Oh, all right. Off you go. That's very funny. My abuela used to grind her own sausage meat. That's badass. That's the proper way to do it. Oh, pear-shaped cheese with pear schnapps. It's amazing. No, I am upset. Your abuela must have been incredible. I was gonna say that sounds so good. Homemade sausage, it is delicious. It's unreal. Some of the best Mexican food I have ever had in my life was out on these islands. Fishermen live out there, but they usually had like goats and various other types of like farm animals, chickens, goats, and stuff out on the island that they would they cheese them and butcher them. And some of the best tacos I've ever had in my life were actually like goat tacos with goat cheese. So it was delicious. It was wildly delicious, but it was very good. But yes, like traditionally made delicacy foods like that, unreal. I like how all of us are talking about all these foods that Ghostly is just freaking out, just like this is horrifying. Oh, Ghostly, if you ever go to other parts of the world where they make it like from hand, from scratch, it's gonna freak you out. Don't have haggis. Do not have haggis. At the time, it didn't even strike me as weird, just watching her push hunks of meat into a grinder. Yeah, I mean, it's hard work, too. Brie and braised pears, hell yeah. I was like, looks really good. Ghostly does not combine food. She definitely was a good cook and always followed recipes from her cookbook. I bet. It sounds delicious. It's not weird. She is doing it right. This is just correct. Yeah, I didn't used to combine foods either. I got somewhat better. Yeah, it depends. I don't know. I've eaten so much weird food while doing all kinds of being all over the place, and just doing all kinds of stuff. You just kind of, if you see other people eating it, it's not killing them. So probably fine. Ghostly survives only off of potatoes. Maybe I am a little autistic. just a sprinkle, or Irish. It's very Irish. Oh, that's cool. Oh, those look really good too. All right. Let's dive in. Last sprint, everybody. Last sprint of the day. Let's get to it. Let's get those words done. I love weird food so much. My probably will seek it out for me. Yeah. Yep. Weird food's where it's at. The Irish point of the TIS spectrum. Yeah. It's funny. It's very American. I don't know. I have friends of mine who are like, I call them meat and potatoes people. They're just meat and potatoes. Hey, Turgay, leaving a lurk. Good luck with the words. Good luck to the words for you as well. There is one other cheese. I fear if I share it out, you all scream. I mean, I love cheese, so I'm always good for cheese. We do have some sensitive cheese folk. All right, happy writing, everybody, and we will see you on the other side. Away we go. Buddy. Alrighty, everybody. That is the end of our third sprint. And is the end of the stream for Tuesday. Hopefully everybody out there got at least a little bit of work done. Or at least, a little progress. Even if not a ton, progress is progress. Tuscany was on me, who just on top of me asleep. I'm awake. What are you doing? Yeah. Yeah, they always, yeah. If you're not doing exactly what they're doing, the cat's like, they're not having it. They're not having it. Not having it at all. I got notes on the page, so I can hopefully start this chapter tomorrow. Notes on the page is all, that's hell. That's all I did pretty much, was go through and give myself notes and trim up a few things, trying to get myself back into the world of the script. Sending scritches to Aang, and congrats to all the writers. Aw, thank you, Nell. Aang appreciates it. He likes the attention. He's definitely likes, he's a big needy of attention boy. You, on the other hand, sir, need tea or nap or both. Yeah, it's gonna be dinner time, dinner and chill time. I gotta pick up doing some work, but it's gonna be balancing work and getting the script done this week, so. But in the meantime, I will see you all on Thursday. Thank you so much, Cryptid. Thank you. Nice work on your nose. We got it. We're getting there. Slowly but surely, we're making progress. But yeah, I will see you all Thursday. Still don't know if Saturday's gonna happen. Gonna try, but it kind of depends. Like, it depends on the weekend and just how crazy work is. But in the meantime, let's see here. What do we got? What's going on? What is going on out there? Oh, Took again. Alright, we'll go ahead and raid in there. So if everybody wants to keep on working, feel free to hang out in there. I think they are doing sprints as well. Sweet. Bam. Alright. Love y'all. Take care of yourselves. Be kind to yourselves. Be kind to others. And yeah, we will we'll catch you Thursday. Alright. Adios, everybody.